we in another mode. Cause they already know we run the road. Cause when it come to the fall, Stevie never fought. And when you say Sean A, that's another goal. Buddy acting like he can never miss. And when it come to Josh Chisholm, that's another hit. And we got an MVP in Connecticut. It's the biggest that we have ever been.
Special edition Off the Bench. My name is Andrew Williams. I'm here coasting with my co-host Big Mix.
I don't know where I go.
We haven't been in the studio in a while, so I'm very excited, and this is a very special episode with us. As you can see, we have two guests. Stefano's been here recently, but so I'll let him reintroduce himself.
I'm Stefano Bellin, president of the Grandmama Amateur Softball Association.
And another beautiful. I don't know if I should be going that route, but no, you are. I know we in the Me Too movement. But Miss Ambrista, representing
the Grandmama Volleyball Association.
Okay, all right. So this is a special episode we'll be up today. We're talking about all the presidents of we should be tuning in shortly with Vincent Marshall from GPFFL. Mix has two hats today. He's co-host and he's El Presidente.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Mr. Yukino Bean. I'm the president of the BAS. It's just Mix.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about basically all the leagues. That's the intent today. We'll talk about all the leagues we have inside the island, with collaborations we could have. So it's trying to create some sort of synergy between everybody. So before we get started, I got a little icebreaker. Any of you guys familiar with Papillon? Well, let me put you all on.
With what?
So Papillon is a project where they use like biological data online in order to expose patterns like a human collective memory. So they have this thing online, sports related. I ain't venture far from sports, but the top 10 most popular legendary Bahamian athletes of all time. I want to take some stabs at it. Like, who y'all think on this list? All right, let's see. Let me see what y'all thinking. I know you go straight softball, so but go ahead.
Yeah.
This just with Papillon up. This ain't what I got. But tell me what. They'll throw some names out there.
I'm going with Sweet Bells. Again with Michael Thompson.
All right, he is not on the list. Just throw him out. Who you think you got?
Buddy Hield is on there.
Buddy Hield is not on the list. I'll give you number 10. Number 10 is Stephen Gardner. He cracked number 10.
Okay, so I guess we get
Shawnee is on the list. She is at
Pauline on there.
She's at number 4. Pauline is at number 7.
So
Sandra's also on there.
Ariana
Vanderpool Wallace. No, she's not.
What about the tennis guy then?
He is not as well.
Jazz Chisholm.
Jazz is not on this list. I don't know. I don't know how they create this index, but it's hard. I'll give you all number 1. Y'all tell me if y'all know who this person is. Carlo might know. He was born in 1917, but Duard knows. Yeah, he is a sailor from Olympic champion. There you go. Number 2, this could be a shocker, and this is somebody right from our hometown.
Oh, me?
No.
From our hometown.
Yeah, not John Twello. Surprisingly, her neither Jazz. I thought Jazz would have been not Buddy either, but it's Donald Thomas.
Okay.
Donald Thomas, the second most famous Bahamian athlete.
This is according. Who's this list according to?
Papillon, man. That's what they got. That's it's like pages of a Wikipedia with a bunch of people that's putting all the information together. Yeah. So I don't know how far like the time frame they're using. Cutoff point could have been somewhere. Jazz, and I think Jazz and Buddy definitely should have been on there. Yeah. If it's up to me, if my list, I would have put Jazz first, Buddy second.
Who do you think brought the most exposure to the Bahamas in terms of Bahamian professionals athletes?
That's a good
question.
Who
has put us on the map recently?
Lenny Kravitz, but that's not sport.
That's a good question. He's asked us all the time. Like with all our guests, I ain't too sure, to be honest with you. I just say Jazz because he's on the cover of the MLB game.
I would say Michael Thompson Wallace.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so because if you know basketball history, Michael Thompson is one of the person who they drafted to stop Robert Parrish
Yeah, he was the what's your boy? Not Rob.
on the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, he was
He was
supposed
one
to
of
be a
those
stopper.
guys that they pick up and say, "Wait,
Kevin McHale. Though.
Yeah.
Supposed to be Kevin McHale stopper. Yeah.
yeah." So I would think that he would have been one of those persons.
He was a number one draft pick too, right? Yeah, he was out of Minnesota.
I would think that he would have been the person to put us on the map, or even
I hope Michael Thompson listening, but I was complaining about him all the time. We need more presence from you in the Bahamas, my brother. I love what Clay doing with some retrospect, but helping out the Bahamian national basketball team. I know he did some sponsoring. Dude, we got the biggest team like ever from the Bahamas
In the
ever.
Caribbean.
Yes. We got Buddy there, we got DeAndre Ayton, we got Kai Jones, so on and so forth. Like, get on board this team. Let's let the Bahamas make an Olympic team. Clay, we need you.
oh god, we didn't even got to win a game. You just need the biggest.
What? You know how big time that is?
That's the funny thing about it. We don't really need to win a game. We just need to see them there walking around the track.
Qualified.
And then we already know Bahamas have win the whole Olympics. We didn't even care. But let's switch gears a little bit.
But last one. Last little icebreaker. Make sure everybody's okay. Give me a favorite Bahamian athlete of all time, man.
Well, I kind of biased.
That's okay. You go with Buddy.
Buddy hands down.
Yeah, I think I go with Buddy too. Steph knows what you thinking.
Donald.
Don Thomas. That's all it.
It's kind of tough. First thing came to mind was John Quill Jones.
He loved John Quill on the show.
She's actually one of my former students at Tabernacle.
You serious?
Yes.
Okay, we ain't got ask you age
But
on. I had you for a teeny ball all this time,
But
man.
outside of that, I would probably say Tony Williams, Starling, because I was like in that era.
When she's coming up, yeah.
Oh, Tony Keane on that list?
She's not on this list, my brother. I don't know. I didn't make the list together. I think
Yeah. You got to throw another one out there just for throwing out sake, and then we can move on. Chris Brown.
Chris Brown. That's yeah. Chris
They got-
Brown. Chris Brown is actually on their list.
The first Bahamian diver?
No.
Was Sean A in the first diver?
No, Chris Brown died first.
I don't remember that.
No.
In the Olympics, he dived.
Yes, he died first. Then Sean A dived. They're like 2 years or something like after that.
Sean
She
A
tripped.
Well, we get the goal. I ain't
Yeah.
get the but I think Chris Brown died first. But anyway,
All right, let's go.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about today. We want to cover a lot of things what happened in our leagues locally, how we can improve on these things, what's some of the successes, what's going on currently. Like flag is hot. Basketball, you out of season now, so we don't care about what you say next.
basketball always in season.
Stefano, we know he has to be right smack it at the start of your season.
Yeah.
Volleyball, I think the same way. GB, FFL, they're just getting started with the playoffs this week, so it's a great time for him to be in studio. So we're going to talk a lot about that. Before we do so, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back. Stick with us, Grandmama.
Where you going, mate?
To go buy these tickets for the party tonight.
Why this boy so dumb?
Tickets242.com.
You know how hard it is?
They sell tickets for parties, concerts, plays, sporting events, everything.
You know how expensive bus is?
Well, if you just buy the tickets online, they could just send you it in the email. Then you could just print it off.
You know how strong mosquitoes is?
Or you could go to the box office downtown at the Genesis Street Gear.
You ain't scared of Joneses, eh?
Back off the bench. So, like I said, we having a president's chat today. We have the president of the Softball Association here, or like I like to call it, the softball by them. And now we also have the volleyball people here too. So we can this is Miss Whitney, I'm Bristol, and she is going to tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit of your sports history, and well, everybody know that you attached to volleyball. But what sport really stood out to you growing up?
And how did you get into volleyball too, by the way?
It was always volleyball. That's how my parents met. So I think they probably would have disowned me if I didn't
Cool. That's
play
really,
volleyball. So
that's a romantic story.
Yeah, both of them are volleyball players. I play softball as well. I played in college.
Okay.
The track and field as well. I was also a high jumper.
All right.
Qualified for Carifta and all the good stuff, but volleyball always had my heart.
Yeah.
So from then to now, just growing up in the gym, I decided to just give back to my community.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my first time as president, but I have served on the Grand Bahama Volleyball Association 2 times prior to this.
Okay.
So we have a lot of first president of volleyball, first time president of softball, and first time president of basketball.
Yeah.
So
That's alarming too. I mean, it is a good. How much more years you have remaining in your term? This is your first year. You all in? It's
This
4
is-
years.
yes,
2
it's
years. 4
4.
years. Okay.
So January officially made us 1 year. We hit
Okay.
the ground running.
So how was year one for you? Like what successes you had first? But let's don't talk about the obstacles. But let's talk about the successes. Like how was it for you? Was it what you expected? You think you work hard enough? Like what is the expectation for next season? I don't know. Let the volleyball public community know what's happening in volleyball.
All right. Well, it was very successful. I am proud to say that after a 5-year break, because of course we would have had Hurricane Dorian and then COVID. The last time we actually had a league was 2018. So coming into the presidency
That's a long break.
Very long time.
So all of the faces probably knew too who was playing from. Like, all right, well, I know volleyball you could play up to your, like a lot of years in your life, but I assumed a lot of new faces should be in the league as now as well, right?
Well, we do have a few new faces, a lot of young faces, but luckily for us, a lot of the older players, they came out, and because they were so enthused and pleased of the work that my board and I were doing, you know, we got some of the older persons. We started our junior development program.
That's nice.
And we've had older persons coming out with, of course, my father. Then we have Ronald Arthur, Beverly Hines. I honestly don't remember his last name, Vernon. This is just to name a few, but we
Right, I didn't even
have
get you in
like
trouble. Yeah.
old school volleyball persons because of the work that we are doing, especially with the juniors. And we just had our Battle of the Islands tournament 2 weeks ago. We had 9 teams in total. We had a mix between Nassau, Long Island, 2 Grand Bahama teams, 2 Abaco teams.
Nice.
And the rest came from New Providence.
Nice.
We had to turn away 4 teams because we just couldn't accommodate them.
Wow.
And that was inclusive of Bimini. So we've been.
Is that the
doing
first
an
time?
excellent job.
Is that the first time that happened here? I came by. I watched one or two of the games. But that's the first time we had that tournament on Island. That's the first time I
So
think
this
I've
is
seen
actually
it.
the second year. We did it last year.
Okay.
And that was on the heels of preparing for the Bahamas games.
Okay.
Because we literally hit the ground running. We came in January, and by the last month, we were having tryouts for Bahamas games because we know we were gone for 5 years, and it took a lot of work, a lot of elbow grease. But I am proud to say that we have a nice following. We have a beautiful junior program.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's
we
great.
have over 100 students currently enrolled. We have 7 that we took to the Bahamas games. And the Federation, Bahamas Volleyball Federation, that is, came over to see a few of them. So we're trying to actually get some of those kids to represent the Bahamas.
Nice. Volleyball's doing some big things, man.
We're
So-
trying our best.
So you said that y'all did that 2 years in a row. Who was the person that came up with it last year? Were you a part of that board that did that, or how was it?
Mr. Raymond Wilson, also known as Rhymes, he is the coach for UB's volleyball team. He's also my former national team coach.
You familiar with Rhymes? Yeah.
Yeah, so he came over because, you know, every year UB has their trials. And we were just sitting in St. George's gym, and we just started to brainstorm things like, Whitney, I appreciate what you're doing, and, you know, whatever we can do to help, man, let's get together and let's do some things. And, you know, we sat there, we put it together, and the rest is history now.
Nice,
we are
nice.
in year 2. We went from
Let's keep this.
6 teams to 9 teams, and hopefully next year, if we can successfully secure one of the bigger gyms, we will now be able to accommodate more teams, and then we will extend to 3 days instead of 2.
Nice. Let's keep this going, man.
It sounds like you had a great year. I was to one of the nights at the gym, and it was packed. What do you feel in yourself that it was advertised more? Do you think more of Grand Bahama should have came out, or how was the attendance?
Well, honestly, from last year to this year, the attendance was greatly improved. However, we were in competition with softball. So that's one of the things I would have recommended to our rep, because softball is having a tournament and also volleyball is having a tournament. So it kind of pulls away. But if we can have, I guess, a council where all of the presidents have this platform where we could send our flyers, send our tournaments and upcoming events. We won't have to compete. Now, we could support softball and when they're having their stuff and then vice versa.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was something
Like-
that we
like-minded.
talked about recently. Why is it that presidents on Grand Bahama don't know who each other is? Like, I had to come to you to find out who you was. And Stefano, me and Stefano has a friend relationship, and I know. But after he told me that he was running president, so now we are building bridges because I see it's a lot of younger persons taking over these presidencies now, moving away from the older person. Not to say that we don't want the wisdom or to know how they carry it on, but yes, we're moving closer more into the future. And building bridges is the only way I feel like sports is going to move forward instead of staying back in that old way. Because volleyball doesn't play the same way that it played in 1970 when Carlo was playing. So we want to move further into the future, more because we have so much more technology, so much more ways we can do apps and stuff on phones and live streaming and stuff. But back then they didn't have these things, and now we have all these tools now. So what we want to, and that's part of what Off the Bench and Superior Talk, by way of Superior Talk, is doing. We want to bring all of these presidents and these associations together so we can advertise this even more.
Well, I'm 100% on board. I spoke to our liaison for volleyball, Ms. Lockhart, and I officially volunteered myself. 2 weeks ago, I said, well, who is responsible for this? I have no problems with putting a group together where we have this platform, but of course, I'm not fully aware of what the Sports Council is supposed to do, or if this is an independent, so I made sure I went to her as our Ministry of Youth, Sport and Culture representative.
Right.
Because it is needed. I honestly wanted to go and check out the tennis championships tonight.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it should be about.
You believe me if I told you that I never knew that we even had a sports council here in Grand Bahama.
I found it out this year too.
I found it out last year when I was named one of the coaches for the Bahama Game team, Bahama Game basketball game.
Well, that's when it really set home for me. Same thing for the Bahamas games. I remember hearing it when I was younger because I would have played in the Bahamas games prior to the one that we just had last year.
Right.
But because I wasn't really hearing anything about it, and this is why I asked the question, because I'm not sure if this is something that should be ongoing or it only comes in effect because of the Bahamas games. I honestly don't know. So I think we have a lot of work that we need to do, just getting basic information out there. Even a meeting that we went to 2 weeks ago about the sports policy.
Oh my God! I don't want to open a can of worms here right now. Boy, I got some fire on my hands.
It's a good start. I think everybody at least like-mindedness. You know what I mean? At a minimum. So we can start. It's a spark, so we can get some things going. Stefano, we haven't heard much from you. Go ahead, man.
But I just wanted to know from that meeting, why is everything, or like it's basically Grand Bahama is kept in the dark, like it's a secret if you don't go and dig deep. And then when you try to find out or get the answers, they feel like you're becoming a problem.
I want to answer that, but I don't want to.
No,
if I answer, I feel like I might pass some cons.
I do. Talk your talk, bro. I agree. You got a backing behind you. You got presidents behind you.
But I really don't care. I think it's more of that old boys club. Like, I don't know what's the secret. It's like a secret society. And like they're just trying to keep things away from you or whatever the case may be. But like I said, we can't be living in the past, man. We gotta move forward. We can't be whatever y'all was doing back then. Yeah, that's fine. We don't care, but we move forward because we have so much talent in the Bahamas, especially in Grand Bahama.
And the help is not there to move these athletes forward or train them. I mean, year in and year out, you have different sports ministries. You have this going on in Nassau. And I'm still looking for the day when one of our MPs, one representative will stand up and say, hey, let's get a proper training facility in Grand Bahama for those athletes.
And it isn't like we don't have the land for it. We could put Nassau in Grand Bahama 7 times and still have space for Andres.
They running out of land in Nassau. Well, they should be out.
Well, I'm pretty
basically.
sure they can build something on top of another on top of IMAX again.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some more about transparency then. So at the meeting, they talked about some of their plans for the sports complex, which included some certain initiatives for basketball, like starting and putting the gym there. Because if we were to talk, we talk about I don't want to say pipe dreams, but we talk about big dreams for each one of our leagues. For us,
Right.
for basketball wise, Mix and I would have talked about it. He's saying, all right, if we could spark the seed, we could save some money, put it aside, we buy a plot of land, and then hopefully a gym comes out of that at some point. It might not be tomorrow. It might be tomorrow. We don't know. But that's our big goal. We'll have our own gym, so we don't have to compete with the other high school gyms. I think every league probably has more along those lines. Some big dream they have for their league. We made some promises. We made some promises. Were made this, and I love hearing it.
Yeah,
I love hearing it.
Shout out to the Minister of Sports.
Yeah, and
Mario Bolek.
and they doing some things in order to at least sparking our mind and getting us connected to say, all right, well, these things but available to you.
Right.
Now, what comes out of it? Like that's another story. That depends on us both, us and him. But the conversation is being had at a minimum. So for transparency purposes, we need to let the public know too what to expect. So the expectation is for the flag day. I took some notes. I don't know what I did with it. Let me see if I can find those.
Yeah, I think volleyball, your experience is basically the same thing that we experience in basketball, because we have to share gym, a sport. Okay, so it's a basketball gym for its own, and then if basketball is not playing and then volleyball is playing, then volleyball should have access to the gym. But how is that good when now basketball or volleyball got to fight with a beauty pageant or a boxing match or
PTA meeting.
a PTA meeting with 4 people in the meeting, only 4 or 5 people reaching the meeting? What are you saying to us? What are you saying? Are you saying to us that we can't have 30 kids off the street who want to play basketball or volleyball in the gym or the gym is locked down because PTA meeting going on?
The biggest
with 4 people.
But the biggest problem is, and this we represented too, you gotta get that gym back. Shocking with gym. That's like we can't just keep on putting our head inside the sign and saying we ain't have a problem. That's the biggest problem we have in sports today. Like we gotta get that gym back. Like no way that should just be sitting up there being derelict for 2 years post hurricane. Everything else could be building around it. Like that's a disservice to the kids, to the community, to the sporting community. Like we need that back. That's a hurricane shelter. Like what's happening now? They need the roof. I understand is leaking. The floor is still.
That is just a shell.
Yeah. So we beginning of the hurricane season now. That's one of hurricane quote unquote hurricane shelters we don't have access to now because of I don't know what happened, but it looks like mismanagement. I can't say for sure. I'm not in those circles, but looks like mismanagement.
Yeah. So let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be back. I see this conversation is getting pretty interesting. So let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back after this message.
We'll be back.
Where you going, buddy?
To go buy these tickets for the party tonight.
Why this boy so dumb?
Tickets242.com.
You know how hard it is?
They sell tickets for parties, concerts, plays, sporting events, everything.
You know how expensive bus is?
Well, if you just buy the tickets online, they could just send you it in the email. Then you could just print it off.
You know how strong mosquitoes is?
Or you could go to the box office downtown with the Genesis Street Gear.
You ain't scared of Jones, says they.
And we're back off the bench. Like I said, we're here. We're having a presidential chat.
Round table. I'm the president, but I like sitting there, Max. I like that. I like sitting there.
This is a pretty good. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching and if you want to call and weigh in on this conversation, don't forget to call us 352-TALK. Call us in if you want to have a question for any of these presidents who is here in the studio today.
We made plenty of references to the Bahamas games. What did I did for you guys? For you guys leagues and you guys vision, and what's the plan going forward? Because both of you guys have like 3 more years left. So what's the thought process preparing for the next Bahama games, God willing, we have those again? How else could we get exposure to that level for your leagues, like for the rest of the Bahamas?
Well, for us, it was a bit overwhelming, to be honest, because like I would have mentioned before, we took 7 junior players. And we did that on purpose because if we don't have a junior development program, we have no program.
Right.
Now, of course, we love and we appreciate and respect our senior players because I dust off some of the rust and I played as well.
Okay.
And I think I have a few more years left. But what stood out to me was there's this one particular young lady from St. George's. And I met her at the Gombe and she pretty much almost knocked me on the ground. And she was like, oh my God, I saw Hayden and Zach and Jasmine play, and everything was about her seeing her peers. So not only did she come out, she brought some of her friends out. And that extended to not only our junior development program increasing. Coach Lucas Stirrup, he has had a team for years, him and it used to be Miss Albert Davis. Yeah, they had youth and program for years. And his team is primarily of high school kids.
That's nice.
Even on our night league team, we have a nice handful of high school kids. So that shows us that, hey, we are here to stay. We're growing. And if we do what we are supposed to do, the sky is honestly the limit for volleyball. There's no stopping us.
That's great to hear. So, Mix, I'll throw in one thing to you. I was disappointed with basketball effort because, in my mind, it's always been from my couple of years on this planet. It's always been Grand Bahama has been dominant in basketball. We came home with a medal, but not the gold medal. What the expectation was because we figured we got the pro inside the league. We got one of the 3 pros inside the league over here. We figured the top tier competition over here, and we come up a bit short. So that shows where we at in terms of talent wise and the rest of the Bahamas. Where exactly we at in the pecking order.
I feel like,
but some other stuff we should have gotten better at. I don't know what lessons we learned, but you weren't the acting president at that point. But what's your thoughts now?
So let me talk about a little bit about the Bahamas game. I feel like some of the things leading up to the Bahamas games. First of all, it was short notice, and if I had my way. See, I think we became too relaxed with not everybody feel like they already arrived. Everybody's a superstar. Everybody feel like, oh, I did this and did that, so my name should automatically.
Right. So it's kind of it's entitlement type thing.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Oh, I did this, I did that. Yeah, but I mean, I ain't never see you play. I see you play in years, bro. I don't know where you at. I don't know what you're doing, but because of who you are.
NBA players got to try out for the U.S. Olympic team.
This is it. NBA players who making millions of dollars, I'm trying out and practicing.
Right.
That's the
key. Who you all ask, boy?
Makes sense.
And that was one, and the rest of the coaches would tell you, that was one of my biggest things. I wanted these fellas to work out and practice together. Too long that we've been living in a society where fellas just get thrown, a bunch of names get thrown in a hat. We pick out the 12, whoever name come out, and we send this team to go do whatever.
So
these fellas
you think that's
practice? They ain't know no one. The chemistry is off.
They're not in condition.
Let me. All right. Let's say. Oh, you think that's their issue, or that's more of the organization in the past of what's been happening, not one particular one, but collectively what's been happening in the past. So this is what they're gonna use too. You know what I mean?
That's it. And that's something that I would like to change.
All right.
I would like to change that. If we say, hey, yo, we doing the Bahamas games now next year. The teams that played in the night league, I would ask the coaches submit me 3 players from each team from your team.
Mhm.
It's 3 your best players, and these the names that we will select to send to try out. Don't tell me, oh, because my name is John Wilshcombe, I supposed to be on this team. Believe it, if I had my way, Buddy had to try out for that team. Well, probably
I know.
not, but yeah. But you understand what I'm saying?
You have to set
but
that
I-
standard.
I understand.
And that's the problem. We've been living on name. Your name ain't better than another person's name. Everybody try for this team, bro.
Yeah.
And when we try for this team and you make this team, now we gotta practice.
That's funny.
Because now we gotta build this chemistry.
That's
And I
funny.
think that's why we went wrong in the Bahamas game.
That's funny you saying off a name though, because I don't even know. Like, all right, we know. Like Carlo will tell you, back in his day, he got the Basil the Kid signs and Bucky Nesbitt. We don't get any household names now in terms of basketball, light league basketball, because for a long time basketball has been going on in Grand Bahama, but the gyms have been empty. So what they've been doing, it's been behind closed doors. So I don't think everyone that he has that pedigree or that name, what the expectations, but they think they have now. You see what I'm getting at? That's this was happening. You know how much night league basketball players you could name right now off the top of your head?
Currently,
Current basketball players. It's my point exactly.
Well,
Carlo will give you all
I
a
can
list
try.
a laundry list of players from the 1970s, but we don't have that. We don't have that effect now. So I know you see a lot of movement happening now. We just got one of our other presidents, just from the Grand Bahama Football Association. So he's a friend of the show. He's been on there. How many times have you been on? Too much times at events. You tired of talking that? You tired of talking
Now I
that?
feel left. I feel like I should go and put on my Grand Bahama basketball shirt, man.
Yeah, you ran too. Lex, you're just multi-talented, bro. You ran there. I like you off the bench too, bro.
Yeah, so like you were saying, like some of the older fellas, like what should y'all give back now? Like y'all hear these names.
you hit the nail on the head.
Boy, now you talking. Now you talking.
I've been sitting on this one too long. I think I've been sitting on this one too long. So
Speak your truth, my brother.
I think last year, I'm not gonna call nobody names,
Right.
but last year a letter went around about a former basketball player who went to the gym to see what was going on in the gym at a high school basketball tournament. He was denied access at the gym because he didn't want to pay, which the fee was like $5 for a school event.
Right. Yeah, support the kids, man.
Just a private school event. Like, okay, you have to pay to get in here.
Correct.
He's a big guy. He's a pioneer. And he did this and did that for the Bahamas with basketball. And yeah, we understand you did that.
Probably did, but what did it have to do with?
Someone paid to get in there to watch you.
Correct.
Why you can't pay to
Pay it
come out?
forward.
Yeah. Why you can't pay to come in and watch the next you or the next? Come on. So
Entitled.
we got to move forward with that. I's the president, and when I go to games, I still pay. So who you is, brother?
Correct.
We gotta move on. Like what you do in basketball. Okay, you play basketball back in your day and you scored 30, 40 points a game and used to walk cool around the school and everybody did it. What's your give back, bro? What you give back to your sport that you was the pioneer for?
I
feel so entitled.
All that collectively can say that too, because nobody here is getting paid for what they're doing, right?
Oh, I don't get paid.
But y'all carrying a lot of stress for the league and getting your name bashing. These players telling you what y'all could be doing and what y'all ain't doing.
Listen,
That's something that I think collectively we need to address. Whether or not the persons that organize these leagues need to get some type of stipend. Because to be quite honest, I mean, I came in I was on my real job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I leave from here, then somebody called me about flying football.
Right.
You know, they called me about flying football last night. They called me Sunday. They called me Monday. So it doesn't stop. And you really get, I would say that everybody that I know that's been a part of organizing sports, recreational leagues in Grand Bahama to date has done it because at some point they played the sport and they want to do it out of the goodness of their heart. But the goodness of the heart don't equate when you getting berated by players who this their first 2 minutes playing in your league ever.
What I mean, tell you. What I mean, Captain, tell you about that. Like I said,
So let me answer. So some of the questions you have. What about the animations and videos and advertisement? Like, all right, so you know the NBA are like a whole marketing team, right? Media team. Like, dude, this me with an iPhone out there. I gotta record y'all and then go back home
And edit
tell
it,
my
yeah.
family, y'all give me an hour. Let me deal with this before. I gotta go to work the next morning. You only playing and then you going home afterwards and then drink beer and then go home afterwards.
Yeah, and this is it. And they don't see all of this. They just say,
No, they don't.
Oh, you doing this and you doing that, but
We pay a league fees.
I gotta be the first person. I gotta be the first person to the gym to make sure the gym's set up and clean and everything.
And the last
I
person.
gotta be the
to
last
leave.
person to leave because now you all buy all the water and the Gatorade and the chips and everything, and you all leave them on the bench like you all have men here. So I don't. So the league doesn't have a bad face. I gotta be here till 11, 12 o'clock at night cleaning this up. I gotta carry all the speakers because y'all want music to the games. Now I gotta get on the people because y'all want stats. With our ideas. I gotta find the photographer and take y'all didn't never have these things. But y'all putting all this pressure on me.
Yeah, so the more you give, the more it expected. So that heavy's the head of the ground. So we understand
Hey, I
how
built
that
for it,
is.
boy. I fought tough. I built
But
for it.
Vince nailed the nail on the head. Like collectively, why are we putting ourselves through this and not even getting gas money in order to come down to the?
Not a dime.
Yeah, you see where we're getting at?
Not
At
a
the end of
dime.
it, with the most you get out of it is a trip. A trip somewhere.
And I don't even want that.
No.
I don't care. I don't even care to travel with the team that travel. Listen to me. I had members on the board telling me, "Oh, when the team travels to the Nationals, use the president. You have to go." I tell them, "I don't
Yeah,
really
I was
care."
one of
And
them
they be
telling me,
fussing me.
they have
I
to go,
don't
just-
care. We just pay for the team to go. Let them gotta do what they gotta do. I don't even care about that.
Traveling with a team is worse than running a league at home.
Listen to me.
You are the point person, you're the face of that league, so you know what happens? Every player that has an issue comes to you. Everyone that has an issue with a player comes to you. Other players that have issues come to you. It never stops. So it's not like you get an opportunity to relax when you go over there. You know, it's just consistent. It's consistent
work.
and it's constant.
Yeah, see, and that's it. And I feel like they feel like, okay, now the president with us, so now he's our certified babysitter. He have to take care of us straight through this whole process that be over here. Mr. President, we ain't got no soap in here. What?
Listen, I honestly can relate. And like I shared with someone recently, I love what we did at the Bahamas Games. We went there. We won the third place round, men and women. We did an excellent
I
job.
did not know that.
And we showed the Bahamas proper that Grand Bahama is here and give us a few years and we will be right there neck and neck
Oh,
with the best.
We won the Bahamas games. Grand Bahama won the Bahamas games. I can guarantee you
As we should.
By medal count.
by medal count. I can show you. I'm going to speak it. I'm going to prophesy right now.
Okay.
We're going to win volleyball.
I
We're going to
received
win
that.
basketball. We're going to two-peat in softball.
They better not put flag in there because we can
'Cause
kill them in flag. We can kill them in flag. Won't even be no competition.
If you put flag in there, come on, Mr. Producer. I read that, Mr. Producer. We can win. Our cycling team is off the chain.
Yes,
I
they
just
are.
found out that we had an archery.
Archery?
Yes.
Yeah.
If archery can win, listen to me, Bahamas, you're all in trouble. We can baseball, softball, fast pitch, slow pitch, this pitch, that pitch, any pitch. Grand Bahama is going to win it all next year. Y'all watch.
All right, so we had a lot of time to. That's a good segue too, because we had a lot of time to talk about the hardships of being the head in charge of these leagues. But what are some of the things like what's happening in your league now? You wanna like let's talk it up and how we could promote it some more. For instance, for basketball, you had 10 teams inside the league this year. That's a lot of that's the most teams coming from
4 teams.
From 4 teams, yeah. So that was great. We was able to, because of Superior Talk and Off the Bench, we was able to air a lot of those games. So we had a lot of clicks every time that goes on. 500 every single time, every night. So that's a lot of people viewing from all over the place. So we had some of the past pros like Magnum Roll would have been calling in on the show, and so on. As Marvin Gray, Collins Bashment, and Anton Thompson. So we had a lot of fellas who played in the past. CJ Hines would have been calling in and been interested in it and getting others to view too.
Speaking of that, not to cut you off, but like, share, and subscribe to the show.
Of course. So let's talk a little bit about what's happening in your leagues and like some of the good things. What people should be like. Why should the athletes inside your league? Because we claiming we can beat up on the rest of the Bahamas. Like, what's so good about your league? What's so good about the product you pushing out? And this is your chance. This is your opportunity to advertise that now.
Go ahead. You go ahead, Miss Whitney.
Well, we know she got all the young and up and coming players. She done been bragging straight through. They in high school and they getting ready.
Correct.
And I can't wait to go down there to see it. And she already had this big tournament with Nassau, Abaco. Let's come on, talk.
Yes, we most certainly do. We have quite a bit of honorable mentions, and I will start with the ones that we actually took to the Bahamas games. We have Zachary Butler. We have Hayden. We say in the Bahamas, Doherty. We have Jasmine Ingram. We have this young boy. Last year, he sat on the bench the entire time. Kamani Lang from LIS, and right now he's gonna upset plenty persons in this upcoming volleyball season for high school. And this kid just turned 16. He's like 6'2", and from trying to figure out how to bump the ball on the wall, he's a natural beast. Yeah. And that's just the bare minimum. We have Natalie Sampson, very good libero, up and coming. So the list goes on. But for us, we would always, pardon me?
For my other people, what's the libero? Because Kat don't know what you're talking about.
All right. So the libero is the defensive specialist. So that is the person who would only play in the back row, and they would have a different color uniform.
Yeah, they would normally wear knee pads.
I tell you that, Kat, you didn't listen.
Yeah, so that would be the libero player. But because we used the Bahamas games, that created this platform for us where these kids are buying into it because we did our due diligence, and the Bahamas Volleyball Federation came over to see what we have. These kids are now hungry. They also had the Northern Bahamas Volleyball Championships in November. Abaco won. They did an excellent job under Coach Johnson. And ironically, one of his key hitters in that tournament played libero in our tournament. 10th grader, 15-year-old young man, I think 14 or 15, and he actually won Best Passer.
Wow. So the future's bright for y'all.
Very bright. Our summer camp is crazy. I just got off a call with Bimini today. And I honestly don't remember his last name, but Rashad, he's in Bimini. You guys might know Rashad. He is teaching over there, physical education. He is interested in bringing some of his kids over to our camp.
Nice.
He's interested. Coach Johnson is interested if we could, assist them with getting some persons to come over.
What age y'all start at?
We start at 9. So we have Bowie State University coming over.
Okay.
So we have our very own Bahamian Edric Poitier. He is a coach there. So they will be hosting our summer camp the first week, and we are partnering with the Ministry of Youth, Sport, and Culture as well.
Nice. That's big time. Vince, I bet you know you got the best flag football players in the country.
I mean,
maybe in this hemisphere. Well, no, America's aside. Put them aside. I think you might have some of the best football players in the hemisphere.
To be quite honest, when people try to compare us with other leagues, I won't call any names, but I usually try to explain to people that, you could pound all you want, but football is still a technical sport. I think a lot of our players are technically sound, and that's how come that separates them from other people who just want to go and be brutes. You could be as big as you want, you could be as strong as you want, but if you don't have the skills, like in any sport, if you don't have the basic skills, if you can't dribble the ball in basketball, it don't make much sense.
You're wasting time.
You still can't do nothing. So I would always try to encourage players that I coached in the past on the technical aspects of the game. The small details that really make you a good player. As far as the Ramama Flag Football League, we actually start our playoffs this weekend in our men's division. We also have the final ladies game for the season because it was postponed due to bad weather 2 weeks ago. But we just want to encourage persons that have not had the opportunity to come out as yet. Come out, take the opportunity, sit in the stands, learn the game of flag football, see how fast it is. It's the fastest growing sport in the world right now. And
On the cusp of being an Olympic sport.
well, it will be an Olympic sport in 2028.
Yeah.
So right now, I don't want to say that there's a lot going on behind the scenes, but if we, as the Bahamas, want to field an Olympic team, there should be a lot going on behind the scenes.
Right.
For us as a league, one of the things that I would like to see is I would like to see more female participation. And I don't mean ladies just coming out running up and down because they say, hey, I want to get some cardio in. I want them to understand the game. I want them to be able to understand the game to the point that they can coach it. Because women have the opportunity to get Division I scholarships in flag football. The opportunity is there. You just have to put in the time, put in the work, and reap the rewards.
So the women's league should be more, should be bigger in a sense than the men's league because they get more of the benefit right now.
They have more to benefit right now. And for me, I would really love to see it take off because we have a lot of women here that won't be able to play basketball. They can't play basketball. They can't run track. Some of them play softball, some of them play soccer. But flag football for the ladies is an option as it is for the men. We as men, not all of us are going to be 6'2", 6'3" power forwards or guards or 6'7" centers.
No, you're right. Not everybody's going to be a mix. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's just there. It's an option that's there. I don't think that we understand how beneficial it could be for us. And I see some things happening with youth flag football within the island right now. And I mean, I probably can't speak on it from where I sit. But
I can. I ain't sit nowhere.
I'm
So shout out to Shock and the Shockwave.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it's developed. I think that there's a lot more that can go towards its development. I would really like for us to work together to build something that would really benefit the young men and the young ladies of Grand Bahama.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff, brother, man.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back to you, we get the hard questions now. So we've been talking a lot about what the leagues have to offer, but when we come back to you, we get the hard questions for these. I could drill these presidents for y'all. So stay tuned, Grand Bahama. All right.
I'm Flynn Doxson from Nose Witness News, reporting live from Sniper Paintball City. We're here with the manager, and he's going to tell us a little about what they have to offer.
Daddy, I got this at Sniper Paintball. We have paintball, cornhole, mini golf, batting cage.
Strike!
That's not a strike.
So come on down every Saturday and Sunday to Sniper Paintball City, located next to Crosstown, where you and the family can have a great time.
See you at Sniper.
Welcome to Karen's Kitchen, where we specialize in Bahamian dishes such as fried fish, crack conch, crab soup, and much more. We're located on Queens Highway next to GB Muffler. To order, call 441-4033.
All right, and we're back, ladies and gents. Thank you for staying with us. This is Off the Bench, powered by Superior Talk. As you can see, this is a round table today. I got all the presidentes from some of our major leagues inside the island. Mr. Stefano Burrows just stepped out as the MTC there. He's representing Grand Bahama Softball Association, but he gave us all his insight, so we can talk a little bit on his behalf until he gets back in. Mr. Vincent Marshall is here representing the GBFFFL, and we got the prettiest person on the table representing volleyball, right?
I hope so.
Right. Okay. Mix, I hope you was in mean. You think it was
I was been start.
You know, not everybody can be a mix.
Not everybody can. Not
I need
everybody
to turn
can.
around there. I know he was coming.
Am I the prettiest?
You don't take the bait. Alright. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about like each one of our leagues, they run into separate bubbles. That's how I want to describe it. Just so it can be kind of linear with it. So you have a certain time frame. And sometimes you might have some clashes like you had with Stefano with the tournament. What your league basically has, you have 10 teams inside there, but 20 people inside. 15 people per league, and not including coaches and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 200 or so events. You maybe have upwards to maybe 350.
Collectively, I would say, all included, league executives, volunteers, officials, we have, I would say, about 280 active participants.
Okay, so just 200, 280. How many teams you have? How many teams are there in volleyball? So softball has about 250 roughly. How many teams do you have in volleyball? Just
10.
About 10 teams.
But they are recycled.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
how many members you think? Maybe 100.
No, because we have men, women, and co-ed. So
Okay.
what we had happening was the women and the men, they played on co-ed teams too.
Okay. So I'm just trying to get a quick number first. So we're a little shy of 1,000 persons, maybe about 830, 850 or so, and that's just 3 leagues right there.
What's the population of Grand Bahama?
Maybe
200,000.
No, 20,000. 20,000. 20,000.
What I was thinking about.
Yeah, about 20,000. So that's what it was. That's what the census was to last. But then a lot of people would have been moving off and on the island too.
Well,
So
we look at about 5% of the population of the Grand Bahama is actively involved in recreational sports.
we understand. We
Okay,
understand.
so
we
now-
on the same wavelength.
So now I have my conquer the week.
Well, so this let me drive home my point now too. So this is where we're getting at. A lot of things, Bahamas games, for instance, we needed money in order to travel to Nassau. Both you teams host nationals where you have to travel.
Mhm.
So each one of our teams, we have an amount of expenses. I don't know whatever expenses there may be. Referees, because we all share basically the same referees. We have referees, and they can dictate whatever prices they want to our league at any time. Like luckily, it ain't enormous absorbent amount now, but you never know what they could come with, and that will cripple. For most part, that can cripple the leagues unless somebody else steps up and say, "All right, I'll referee at a lower rate." Without unification from each one of our leagues, and each one of you guys like-minded, been sitting relatively new, relatively young. I'm only saying that for Stefano Pod. He ain't here, so I can call him old. How can we bridge these leagues together to get this one? What was the number? 1/5 of the Grand Bahama community would just actively involved in sports. How can we pool our resources together in order so we can assist with travel? That's a lot of buying power when you go to the airlines and when you go to the hotels. Like, hey, we got 1,000 people who need to travel every single year. Like, how can we collectively get to the ground? Because we say we need a lot of things for our leagues. We need this. We need give me some things with you guys might need to
from the basketball side of it, with nationals. Let's start with our national team.
Mm-hmm.
When we send teams to the round robins to whichever island they decided to go, we have to pay for, let's say it's a team of 12 players, 2 coaches, and also we have to provide a table official as well as a referee. So that's about, let's say, about 17 to 18 people that my association will have to pay for to travel to this round robin.
That's just getting there. That's 18. Let's say by but how much is a ticket now? But $290.
So this year's round robin would have been taking place in Andres. When we call the airline,
2 tickets.
The round trip ticket from Grand Bahama to Andres would have been $450 per person. Times that, times 20. And that's just the thing. That's not executive members yet. So we round up, let's say about 25 persons to go. 25. times 450. That's a lot of corn.
Yes, it is.
So we have no help with that.
$11,250.
Okay.
All right. That's just to get there.
That's just to get there.
Yeah.
Our federation doesn't. We have to provide our own transportation,
Right.
our own accommodations, and for some strange reason, when you send people, people think I'm supposed to pay for food too, but nonetheless, so we're looking at about $15,000 to $16,000 because a villa rental for a team of 12 and other people might run you into another $5,000. Rental might be another $1,500. Food may be another $1,000 if you carry food to come.
And your vehicle and gas.
And you need to do this.
Exactly.
So $15,000 for every year for 4 years while you in power. That's the expectation. That's the expectation for you. And that's just
for the round robin.
That's just to travel. Yeah.
That's not even to run our league yet.
That's not gym. That's not trophies.
What's the expense for one day inside one? I know Vince probably have a better number because he has every week. He has a week. Well, you have a weekly fee too because you have three.
Because we have to. So gym rental was like $1,000 a month. Then we had referees is like $20-25 a game. Table officials is like $10 to $15 a game.
So you're roughly paying $200 a night, and you got the 3 nights, but $600 a week, roughly.
Some it depends on this. Okay, so we have 3 games. So we have 3 games. Let's say we have 2 games a night. We have 3 referees on some games. So that's $60 there. Another 30 at the table. No, there's not. That's more because they have a spotter, the clock, the stats, and the buck. And that's $15. So that's about another $60. So yeah, go on. And ask me how we did it with no help from our federation.
So and then on top of that, you need to do things in order to try to make money. So you got advertisement,
superior talk.
Yeah,
I got it.
Fundraisers.
Right, you gotta. Well, the fundraisers only help because only the board and maybe a few others will assist you with that too. So Vince will let you know, and it's fun. Like we could talk a little bit about that too.
Thank God that my executive board was so willing and eager to lend their time to assist us because, like I said, the gym got to set up. They would speak. Music got to be in the gym. Air conditioning. Sometimes in the gym, the air conditioning don't even work.
Yeah.
So. And then you have people complaining about the air conditioning ain't working. Oh, it's too cold in there. Oh, but see, and nobody sees these things behind.
Yeah, so gross number you spend about 20K a year
on just
gym
just run the league and
travel
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Vince, what you looking like per game, like per week, per Sunday?
Boy. For Sunday, rough numbers. Let's see. We have 4 officials to a game. Each official makes, I think, maybe $15 a game. So that's $60 a game. We run 4 games a Sunday this season. 60 times 4.
240.
240.
Yeah.
So you have that expense. We have statisticians, so we pay guys to maintain the stats. We pay guys to hold the down marker. We have the Red Cross that's out there. So we actually donated to the Red Cross financially this season.
Good move. Good.
That's our league.
You have to pay to have access to restroom facilities. You have to pay for access to use the field. There's other fees associated with the field use. But over the course of a season, flag football, grandmama flag football is upwards of $30,000 for a season. That doesn't account for when we travel for nationals. If we travel, as we're going to be traveling in July of this year, we have 65 people that we have to take to Nassau on a certain airline that would leave you if you don't reach on time. And for 65 tickets, you're looking at about $18,000. You know what I'm saying? So you have to paint the field. You have to make sure that the field is cut. Make sure that it's maintained. You have to make sure you have tents, canopies for persons that are coming out there.
Yeah.
There's so much expenses, and people don't realize it. Our league fee for teams is like $620. I think it's like $620 a team, and that
Not just paying for the refs.
that really just covers the officiating costs.
Yeah.
So when we, as an executive for the Grand Bahama Flag Football League, when we go out to companies and we approach them and we say, hey man, listen, we don't need money, but what we could use is a couple of gallons of paint. So we could make sure that our field is painted. We could use your tents over the course of our season, so that's an expense that we don't need. It's just small things that we try to get, but definitely you do need financial assistance. We've been doing this now this is our 13th season. No, our 14th season minus COVID and the pandemic Dorian. But we've done this for 14 years with no assistance from the government. We've hosted national championships with no assistance from the government. So when I say it becomes a heavy, heavy load because of the time you have to put in. Like Andrew alluded to, players they want to see graphic images of the schedules. They want to see highlight videos. They want to see hype videos for the upcoming games, the upcoming playoffs. These are all things that the players come and they say, "Oh, we pay our league fee."
Yeah, but your league fee, and here's the thing. Here's the thing that happens. You when you tell them the league fee, why the league fee so high? Because you want all these things. You see all these things that you want in place, but you thinking that this little bit of money that you charge to get in the league is going to cover. Do you know that?
So roughly they're paying like $25 a season. $25 for the season per player. That's the league fee. So you gotta take the expectations when you realize you're paying up. $25 ain't gonna get you so far in a grocery store.
But that's if you don't pay for individual insurance, because then that $25 now would have to go toward insurance too.
Our insurance is about $36.
Ours is $30.
We haven't reached the insurance yet.
The cost for you as a player to be covered insurance-wise is just a little bit more than it costs for you to play for the entire season.
Correct.
And your insurance covers you when you travel to nationals, when you travel to Nassau for a tournament in October. It covers you if you have to travel outside of the country to participate in an international tournament. And these are the things that we try to impress upon the players. Listen, we want to do more, but we need support. You say, hey, we're going to do a raffle. We sell raffle tickets for $2. Can you buy a book of raffle tickets?
So collectively now, as leagues now, all right. For instance, everybody.
I don't think she did.
Well, I think we nailed that point. It's expensive in order to run these leagues. I think y'all nail a point to the community. But collectively now, let's think about this. Like, how can we merge our leagues in order to like try to stipend some of these costs? Like, you travel every October. Like every October makes you travel when is nationals? Every April.
April, yeah.
Okay, so these are the type of efforts I guess we need to reach out as presidents. I guess is some of the unification we can do now. Say, all right, we got 1,000 people traveling in 2025 collectively at these time slots. Like, how could we go to the people who's leave if you don't show up on time? How could you help us? If not, we go to the competitors and we tell them we get 1,000 people. We locking them in. So that may be a avenue we could work, and then instead of going to the hotels all the time, like you blocking in timeshares. Everybody just paid collectively the 1,000 people who inside these leagues. You pay collectively tape timeshares. And then we learn we lock down certain spots. That's cheaper than having to rent a hotel every year.
Yeah, but now that gets back to all of the presidents being on one accord now.
Right.
We gotta build that bridge within us.
Right. And I think it's possible. I like the way everybody seems like everybody's like-minded.
Yeah,
I'm the president, but I agree with everything you're saying.
Who's the president?
Listen, look at it like this, right? The Grand Bahama sporting community in itself is a community, right? You have ethnic communities that work together, right? Even in Nassau, you have certain nationalities that will work together. They will purchase in bulk. They will bring all their items in containers, and then they divide them up. You see, they maximize their profit because they know the power of buying as a larger unit. So why can't we just leverage the same concept? I mean, if it's working there, it's working over there. It's working over there. Why should we continue to sit here and suffer in silence and, you know?
Because for so many years, our predecessors felt like we should be separated. I don't know why.
I don't know if that's them being short-sighted or whatever else behind the scenes. You know, everything, we think everything in politically. So I don't know if that was driven by any of that.
Yeah, but it's like how we talk about it. Like, okay, so now we know basketball season is done. Why can't we carry a few volleyballers going on? Why can't we carry a few people to watch a volleyball game?
Right. And advertise volleyball and say, hey, well, last season is over and volleyball is up next. We go to
softball. Why can't we go to flag football? Like why can't we do these things? Why can't each association go and help out? Like one of the things that I thought about what I wanted to build the bridge with was, okay, I know that volleyball was just that night league, and I knew that y'all didn't have the concession. Y'all couldn't get concessions down because y'all had the YMCA. So it was something what I wanted to do. I wanted to reach out to y'all. When we have night league basketball, let the volleyball association come and get the tuck shop.
Run the concession.
Y'all run the concession. What money y'all make, go to your league. We would go because now we know. Now I know it might be a little touchy because concession stands make so much money in everybody's association, but that's just something that we wanted to do because. But that's just something that my administration wanted to do because we know that y'all was just starting and y'all needed help. That's just something that we wanted to do. But we never got around to that. But so next year, as the president, like my secretary said, you can't make that decision. But I'm pretty sure that as the president, and the vice president, and the treasurer would agree with me that, hey, we could give you all one night. You all come out. You all do because you all hold a concession. You all make some money for your association.
Half off for $1 Tuesdays or whatever it is for the volleyball. For all volleyball players, the biggest show proof of
they come in with their ideas.
Yeah,
so they have the concession that night.
Yeah, right.
They invite their league to become a part of it that night. Come in and watch it. Come and support us at the concession stand.
Right.
So now you have how much people you say you have? Let's say you have 100 people. That's 100 people coming into the gym.
Extra just to watch you. Yeah.
So now you have 100 people in the gym. You all have what? An average of 100 as well? So now
about 250.
250.
Yeah.
So now you have 350 people in the gym, right? Gym looks really packed. And it looks a whole lot packed when it's on streaming.
Oh, yeah.
On Superior Talk.
And what happens is they can tell their friends and they can tell the other people who normally would be interested in basketball, boy, you been to a game by the gym?
Yeah,
and that was off the chin. Yeah.
So much people was out there.
Yeah, and that's how it works.
And that's how I think it should work to build our fan bases, to build the support back up, build our purses for expensive because
I see what y'all up against. All y'all up against some hefty.
I didn't know until I got in how this is a lot of money that has to be spent.
Correct.
But if you don't make no money, you see them people feel like even as the president, like a few nights at the door, I see people just walking in like, oh. Like you just put straight by like oh, you didn't see me standing here? Like you have to pay to come here to watch the game. Well, what you mean you gotta come pay to come? I say, my brother, what you are talking about? I see other players like one thing that I took away from the one night I came to watch volleyball that was interesting to me, that players who come to play volleyball, if you have a game that night, you have to pay $1 or $2 to play. Because they're trying to build their thing up. Their purse. So I brought that over to basketball. You come to play Okay, when not if you come to play, but if you come to watch another team play, these fellas don't want to pay. My man LeBron gotta pay to go watch Golden State. Who y'all is? I know he's charging y'all $2. Come on, man. And then other teams, no. You know where leagues fall, though? Other teams to come in the gym to watch them, but other teams won't come in the gym to watch other teams.
Correct.
Yeah. Well.
I think that's sad. Like how you want people, oh, you don't want to come to watch our game. But you didn't come to watch them nobody else's game, bro.
It's a mentality. Until the mentality change and we come away from this I, we will always have this uphill battle. But I think, like was mentioned before, we have enough like-minded people here. If we do our part and we lead by example, it's not going to happen today, it's not going to happen tomorrow. But if we continue to press, I think we will eventually change that mentality. And now you'll have people wanting to come out, people wanting to support. We wouldn't have to ask or promote as hard. And of course, marketing is a big part of what we do. But if we do our due diligence now, that kind of sets the foundation for everybody to say, well, hey, this is something I could do on a Friday or Saturday. Their tournament was good. Let me go and sit and watch a basketball game. Maybe watch a flag football game.
And honestly, too, I think like we haven't touched the surface of how big this can get. Like some communities, like the US, they do a good job with branding. Like we have water companies here.
Yeah.
We drink a hell of a lot of water to our sports. Why we get nobody advertising for these water companies? Like this is an avenue we can pitch to them and say, all right, we could be doing this so much. You want you put you on. We got 500 clicks on off the bench. This is every week. We got these top athletes who we know better than everybody else in the rest of the Bahamas. Who gonna beat up on the rest of them in Bahama games? Let them advertise a few. Let them advertise as one few. So that little simple stuff like that we haven't touched on, we haven't really tapped into yet.
But it's weird because these are things that you can do in different countries in the world, you know. I have personally went to sponsors and I said, hey, listen, we have 300 athletes, right, at flag football. This was in this year, last year. I said, we have more than 300 athletes. I say that doesn't include the fan base that we have that's out there. It doesn't include the 900 people that follow us on Facebook or the other 200-300 that follow us on Instagram. I say these are people that you can actually directly market to, you know. I say on top of that, we can find ways to work with you and help you promote your products.
Right.
And I always went from an aspect of, hey, we can help you with brand awareness and brand recognition.
Yeah.
But I don't think corporate Grand Bahama is there yet to say, let's take advantage of these small entities now and help them to grow while they help us to grow. Now, they will run behind an already established athlete and say, hey, let me give you $100,000 for a year, you know? And I have to work around your schedule.
But they get very little of it.
And they have absolutely no access to them because they have to go through managers and planners and all this other stuff.
$100,000, you know what they can do for that? Could do for your league. You get my whole league. They sponsoring for you, and they drinking your water every day. Every day throughout the community.
Said, listen, if you put enough paraphernalia out at the flag football field, everybody is taking pictures and posting on the social media. Your brand and your logo will be visible in someone's picture somewhere, and that's how people start to see you. And it's all about subliminally getting it out there.
Right.
People all of a sudden now they wondering why it's always on their mind. It's because everywhere they look, they see it. But the people that work in marketing now, I don't think they understand it yet, because they feel like, oh, Mr. Bahamas, we don't have to do it. But you got to start somewhere, and you got to start with someone. You know.
A lot of promises being made for Grand Bahama, and a lot of changes should be happening. This might be some of the sparks we need in order to get it done. You don't have 250 no more. You got 1,000. Like you got 1/4 of the Grand Bahama population and their fan base. So collectively we can push this through, being like-minded, and this how this can work. And the top of that too. Sorry, Bex. One more thing. And sports changing now too, in terms of like everybody. They get your sheets every week. I don't know how to play inside your leagues. I don't know if that's possible. But we got plenty number houses here, and that's a pastime for Grand Bahama. Like I know in certain ways we can advertise there,
Shout out to my boy Fredo.
In certain ways, collectively, you guys can think about like group think and then get together and think about how you can pitch this. We got these leagues happening all year round. Yeah. Superior Talk can shoot this. We can Superior Talk and off the bench. We can shoot this for y'all. We could have Monday night. You could have basketball. Sundays is flag Sundays. You can watch this from. You don't got to come out to the field. Pay your registration. Watch right from ILTV or wherever else you want. Volleyball on Thursdays, so you can watch all these sports from your local athletes. Who on the cover water? Who on the cover? Who pitch you on the water when you're drinking? Who on the food store? Who in front of the food store? Who pitches in front of the food store? These are the type of things you need to. And if we could pitch, we got 1/4 of the population of Grandmama. This is how this should be working with the sports world. They doing it in the U.S. You see them doing it in Canada and UK, everywhere else. We can pull this off here if we have like-minded people.
I mean, honestly, it does exist. I can only speak from, I guess, volleyball experience. But we have something similar where we do have sponsors. If you go on the YMCA right now on the wall, you'd see the Grand Bahama Volleyball Association, and we have a list of our sponsors. But we have a tier package. So you have bronze, silver, gold, platinum. So with our platinum, we had this tournament, for example. Yeah. We were sponsored by ATIS. We were sponsored by Grand Bahama Port Authority.
Yeah. Well, I have to admit, the Grand Bahama Port Authority did sponsor Grand Bahama Flag Football League this season.
Hey, well, let me tap on that too. Let me shout out to Grand Bahama Port Authority. Grand Bahama Port Authority, y'all doing some things.
Correct. We also have Shipyard and Kelly's too. If you check our Facebook page, the photos from the tournament, you would even see us reference. So that's a part of your package. Mm-hmm. Anytime we sit down at any one of these platforms, we go on the radio or we go on television, you would hear your company's name. So that is a part of the package that we have. So it does exist.
Okay,
but it can be improved upon, especially in our culture, because you would have referenced the marketing, and we're not to that level yet. But I feel as if we work together.
Yeah.
You share your ideas, we share our ideas, and we work as one Grand Bahama.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then we work as one Bahamas. Yes.
Sports in Grand Bahama.
Right.
I think I spoke to you at one point, and I said, we host tournaments, right? But we host tournaments as separate entities, right? But we have the Grand Bahama Sports Complex, which has the complex itself. It has the field where we play, which can accommodate football as well as soccer. Mm-hmm. It has the softball field down at the back, right? But what is preventing us from having a football, a sports weekend over a holiday weekend?
That's actually something that I talk about. Remember I talked about the Grand Bahama Olympics, because we have so many players that go through that play every sport.
Every sport.
And why can't we have volleyball have granted in some sports that okay, so if volleyball have a basketball team, flag football, pick up some fellas, they have a basketball team, and vice versa. The volleyball gonna dominate us basketball players, some of our basketball players automatically, but then when they come over here, same thing. So like I said, why can't we have sports weekend, like you say, or Olympic style setting amongst our associations?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said again, why are we so separated?
Yeah,
why we together? Why can't we do this to build this bridge with players?
See all basketball people in your circle,
you can imagine your 200 fans from volleyball all at the stadium, my 300 fans at the stadium, your 500 fans from flag at the stadium, and we having a track this week.
Track meet.
Next week we had the softball. We having softball. I think I'm going on. Then we have players from flag every week. We are circulating it. That would be. Listen to me. Hold on. I'm about to get fired up. Let me take a quick commercial break. I'll be right back.
In the past.
Where you going, mate?
To go buy these tickets for the party tonight.
Why this boy so dumb?
Tickets242.com.
You know how hard it is?
They sell tickets for parties, concerts, plays, sporting events, everything.
You know how expensive bus is?
Well, if you just buy the tickets online, they could just send you it in the email. Then you could just print it off.
You know how strong mosquitoes is?
Or you could go to the box office downtown or the Genesis Street, girl.
You ain't scared of Joneses, eh?
But just where we come from, we gotta come back.
So let me tell you, let me tell y'all, Grand Bahamas, these presidents, they still talking on and during the break, but how what their plans is and how collectively they can get some things together. So this energy working. So this good news. This good news for the sporting community. Small problem though, kind of short on time.
But let me wrap this up quick.
No, it ain't a quick wrap up yet, but I just want to talk about. All right. So I give you three quick things to wrap up on. Everybody have their time. Yeah, please to the community. What was my other one? Sorry. Well, let's just go with that one then, because we covered a lot. We covered a lot of topics on that one. So yeah, please the community, and then what your plans is for your future league. So let's and then we could segue into our closing afterwards. And you have a Conquer the Week this week?
Yeah, my Conquer of the Week is the Grand Baham.
All right. So Ben, let's get started with you. You mentioned earlier going into the playoffs now. You could talk about you could talk a little bit about that. What you need, what type of support you want from the community in reference to attendance and how long it's going to be running for, and then what to expect, and how is it typically in the past, and it can as opposed to what you expect this year, and then whatever else you feel like is on your chest, what you need to get covered.
Okay, so first of all, like I did allude to, we are having our playoffs starting this week.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to run for 2 weeks, and then we're going to take a break because of Father's Day. We don't play on Father's and Mother's Day, and then we return for our championship games. Then after that, I think we have after that we have an All-Star weekend where we play All-Star games. We're trying to get some corporate teams involved in that as well.
That should be fun.
Then we take, I think, two weeks break. Then we travel to Nassau for the Bahamas National Flag Football Championships. Then we take another 2 weeks break, and then we host our annual Grand Bahama Invitational Flag Football Annual Tournament. That wraps up our flag football season. The only thing I could say is I would say a plea to the general public. Come out and support flag football. It's $3 to get in, $5 on championship game. But just come out, see what you like. Let us know what we can improve on, things that would draw you back, and invite somebody out.
Mm-hmm.
A more sincere plea goes out to the corporate Grand Bahama community to support the local sporting associations. Sports brings us together, whether we want to admit it or not. Whether we have different taste in sports or not, whether we like a team or not, sports does bring us together.
It does.
I watch Super Bowl with Dolphin fans every year, and I really don't like Dolphin fans.
Let's not talk with them Cowboys.
Sports brings all of us together, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, collectively, I agree with that. That's a good point.
Yeah, man. Okay. But support the local sporting associations, not just flag football. Support volleyball, support basketball, support softball, support soccer. And where you are able to, offer your expertise.
Mm-hmm.
There are times when we may say, hey, we need some financial assistance. Yeah, we do. However, in giving that financial assistance, take the time and meet with these league executives. Come out to the games. Sit and watch what's happening. See where you might be able to offer a little nugget here. Hey, you can improve this if you do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Things like that go further.
It's take fresh eyes in order to look at things too. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then the sporting community, the sporting governmental authorities, we have to do better if we want to develop sports.
I agree.
The biggest thing I would say is if we come to Grand Bahama to have a meeting with the sporting leaders, let's get all the sporting leaders together and let's listen more than we talk. We appreciate you coming here, but if you are just going to talk to us for the entire meeting, then we're not sharing. Communication goes two ways. It's part listening, part speaking. So you can't speak the whole meeting and don't take anything back. You know what I'm saying? But apart from that, I think the future of sports in Grand Bahama is looking good. We just need assistance with developing it. We need real development. And as hard as we may be trying individually, collectively, we'll be able to get more done. And I would love to be able to work with some of you, all of you around the table, in order to try and build the sports revival back for the island of Grand Bahama.
Okay, just give me one word answers. And what do we call development? I'll chime in. So facilities, gyms, coaches, everybody in agreement? Anything else I'm missing out on there?
Referees.
Officials,
Yeah, we in harmony. Wow,
great. Okay, let's say on the volleyball side. What's the expectation for the remainder of the calendar year for volleyball, and what else you got upcoming? And what is your plea to the community and to the sports public?
Well, we have high hopes outside of our summer camp. We want to kick off our Golden League, so something that we want to try in August.
Carlo could join that?
Well, there's only one requirement. You have to be 50 or older.
Carlo,
What you think, Max?
So we would like to do an all-star for the kids in the junior development program, and then we would also love to do that Golden League. It's just one day because, of course, we don't want anyone to get injured, but we just want to
have to run on standby.
Yeah, like was mentioned before, in order for us to do what needs to be done, Mick spoke to it well. We need to bridge the gap, and in our culture, if you are progressive, unfortunately, most people have this, you come to take over mentality, and that's really not it. But things that would have worked in the past might not work in the present, but I can still learn from you. You could still learn from me. So I think that's one of the key ways we would love to go. And outside of that, we will be restarting our league again in October.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So we get some time to watch some volleyball. I'll be there for one or two games. Hopefully we can host that in Jack Haywood Gym at some point
and hopefully we can have off the bench be there to scream some of your games as well.
I know
awesome, I love
take
it.
some pictures for y'all.
Awesome.
Sounds good to me.
Max, we want to talk a little bit about basketball. I know you got a lot of things happening in basketball. What's your plans for the rest of the calendar year, and what's your plea to the basketball community and the sports community at large?
Yeah. So we like I would have said on the break. People feel like when a season over in a sport, that's it. I think that a lot of some of these new presidents we want to change that mentality of how people think about that. We don't want you to feel like volleyball in March, that's it until next year.
Yeah.
No, we want to change that. Basketball ended in March. We still have a lot going on. We look at it as we see where the younger kids want to play basketball, the junior kids want to play, the children want to play, but they can't get on the basketball courts because of the older boys normally dominating the court or whatever the case may be. So we have an AAU style tournament coming up for the younger.
I'm excited about that.
For the younger kids this summer. We have a corporate league coming up. We also want to start a community league, whereas we want to I feel like sports fail a lot because we base everything in gyms now. When I was growing up, we didn't have gym to play in. The only way basketball was hyped back then is because we was outside in the community. you go from here to there to play, and everybody out there playing. We have food out there. We have music out there. The team from this area playing. The team from around the corner, and everybody out there having a good time.
Yeah, church league. That's how my parents met, in the church league.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Volleyball church league.
So you can meet gals and all in these leagues.
Christian
gals. Christian gals.
Christian mingle. So yeah, these are some of the and like Vince said, corporate grandmama, y'all don't sit down, y'all. There are ways that y'all can be a part of this. Don't wait till the train start moving and then try to run us down and try to get on board. Y'all can before we start, y'all can get on now. Let us advertise y'all while y'all help us move the sporting community and grandmama further into the future. Don't just sit around with your hands twiddling, and when you all see the thing pick up, then you all come. You can't come here with your hands swinging.
Oh, them things, Bobo.
Yeah, right, Bobo. Yeah, y'all gotta come on board, and that's my plea to corporate grandmama. Y'all come on, support, like Vince said. Support these leagues. Like, it's so much things that we need. Like, if we invest in our youths, do you know how far we can be? Like
sports tourism, a scouting hub for the world.
Grand Bahama has some of the most untapped potential, talented kids in the world, I feel.
That's the threat I was referring to earlier. My personal opinion with federations. We have the potential here, but I think if we get what we need, back in their mind, it's like, I don't want Grand Bahama to outshine. Nah, so I don't want Abaco to outshine.
But that's their mindset, because in my mind,
that's the mentality.
Once a Bahamian win, I win.
Correct. That's what, not to say it's us and them, but that's what the younger generation sees. And I realize, and talking to some people, what you and I see, and all of us sitting to the table, some people nowhere near that. They can't see that. So that tells me that we're not going to be able to take everybody behind us.
The only time I feel like we go against, I feel like Grand Bahama is going. I feel one side is when Bahama game come around, where I know Grand Bahama is going to dominate Nassau, dominate Exuma, and all these other islands. But when we get it on the international stage, where a Bahamian is doing phenomenally. I'm all.
I never made Jazz Chisholm a day in my life, but that's my favorite athlete right now. That Jazz, because what he doing in the Marlins?
That's why this is the Pacers. Now we put it for the Sixers.
Oh, right. The biggest 76er fan in the world.
We all is 76er fans now. But you know how Mate was their coach? He was conquered a week for 3 weeks straight.
And this is the reason why I actually don't buy basketball jerseys, because I know when Buddy switch, I order there. When Aiden switch, I order there. When John Quell switch, I order there. So I can tell you all what your national teams, your foreign teams, when you all let go my players, that's why I'm glad Indiana lose.
Me too. Stink dogs.
Stink dogs. Where to get them, Tatum? But yeah, but back to what I was saying. We need help. We need help. Corporate grandmama, y'all support these leagues, man. Like, there's so much untapped potential.
So one word answers for you for the corporate bomber then. So we thinking pitches in front of. I'll name some of these corporations. We got Playtime Sports. We could have flag football and volleyball players, pitches somewhere inside there. So they can say, we know we advertising now. Are there team logos? We mentioned the food stores, chances. BTC does a good job, but particularly with like the big athletes, tap into this locally.
We have to be honest too. Sorry, not to cut you, but what I realized, some people don't want to sponsor because they were burned in the past. We get sponsors and we don't do our due diligence.
That's fair.
We take the funds and we don't even say, well, here's a free pass. This is a brochure. This is some type of pamphlet of what we did. This is what your contribution went to.
That's fair.
Well, so that's a part of it too.
I like that. That's fair. That opened up another. That's just another opportunity for somebody else to mix, because you can get that. you need a sports agent, for instance. It's like say you want to sponsor an athlete in particular as opposed to the entire league.
That's something that I wanted to do in basketball.
You see what I'm getting at?
But you saying that, let me use this time to thank. Basketball is over. Night League is over. Let me use this time right now to thank some of my sponsors. Fair Play. O2C.
Fair Play is doing a good job sponsoring every league.
Volleyball
yeah,
too.
so
Yeah,
Fair
every
Play.
league. Fair Play.
O2C.
Good corporate citizens.
Chances.
Same.
The Port
set way.
Authority.
I know the Port was this good, so shout out to the Port.
Yeah.
The Port is bad mouth job, but everything I don't never defend y'all. I just be like, yeah, get them.
Yeah.
But in sports world, it seems like you're doing a very good job, and I must commend you on that.
Also, some of our smaller I had smaller businesses, them sponsors like M&M Eatery. I mean, I don't know why people feel like when they hear the word sponsor, that means thousands and thousands of dollars. Whatever you can do towards, yeah, if you sponsor $25, that could go towards paying a referee for one night.
Yeah, like you said, with recognizing your sponsors. I mean, BDC is our title sponsor for this year. The GB Port Authority came on as a sponsor.
Shout out to BDC.
Paint Fair came on as a sponsor. Fair
Port
Play.
Authority.
Gary is doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah, Gary, you're there, boy.
Yeah.
And anytime someone asks me, say, where I go to sponsor, I say, check Gary.
I don't know how Gary feel about that, but all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't just go check Gary. Y'all go down by Fair Play and try the shrimp grill. Oh my God.
No, but the can't grill, babe.
No, but my wife say bring them shrimp. So there also I want to thank MYB to Vienna Rutherford. She
Mind your business.
Yes.
Mind your business.
She made a good sponsor. Fast Track, a friend of the show, Ray.
Oh man, Coach Ray.
Like I say, M&M Eatery, Michelle, she made a small donation as well.
Nice,
I just want to thank all.
One Track Mind.
Yeah, One Track Mind. Simone, what's her thing again? Simone, I don't know. I can't remember yet.
Mix is too bad.
I don't remember. People will bring me merch. So
yeah,
I want to thank. I might get canceled if I don't thank Superior Talk. I want to thank Superior Talk. I want to thank 50 and 50 Squared. now we get applause.
Pettiness.
Yeah, so like I say, I just want to thank our sponsors. We want to.
Yes, sir. I would like to thank you guys for having the Grandmama Volleyball Association here. The Superior Talk off the bench. Of course, our sponsors. Kelly's Limited, Grandmama Shipyard, Grandmama Port Authority, ATIS, Grandmama Power.
She had all the big dogs.
Just minor contributions, but people thought that were minor. But to us, it meant the world, and it went a long way. We were able to help kids with the junior program. So we do thank you. We appreciate you. And of course, you can look forward to seeing good things from the Grandmama Volleyball Association in the future.
This is probably one of our most important shows. So I want to personally thank each one of you for your contribution tonight. And hopefully we pay this forward and we get something going. Because everybody's here because of their love for sports in some way. Vince, you kind of nailed it on that. Everybody's here just a tribute to a love for whatever sport it is.
Name.
No. Your name getting carried over. At the end of the day, it's GBFFL. No, but Vince, you're just taking the rap now. You're just getting beat up now. Same as you mix.
Oh my God.
So we want collectively, I think we could do a lot of good things in the community, and which won't benefit. Maybe benefit us, maybe benefit our kids, maybe benefit our kids. So that's just the way we got to look at this, and hopefully this grows from here. If not us, it sparks the mind for the next person.
So if you're listening and you're a part of a sporting association, or you aspire to be a part of a sporting association, reach out to Superior Talk. Let them know you're interested. They can get in contact with the host of the podcast, and we could work on setting a time to get an initial meeting together and start doing something instead of sharing the message but not actioning the message.
And I get this group. We get this group together again. Next can treat us to lunch and drinks.
Cool.
Shrimp grill for everybody.
So this is my part. This is my favorite part of the show right here. You got me, Mr. Medusa? No, not Conquer the Week yet. This is my favorite part of the show where I ask the sponsors. You have some sad music in the background. Sponsors, this is your time to come on board now. We got a lot of space. No, not a lot.
me see if I can find that music. Go ahead.
We got spaces open. If you want to be a part of this show that is taking off, listen to me. Y'all can get leave behind. Gary, I coming to see you again. I need another sponsor because Gary, we can bring Fair Play. As a matter of fact, I come into Fair Play tonight for my shrimp grill.
We need an episode there, man.
That's for real.
We need an episode there.
Sponsors, get on board. It's not too late. Y'all gonna have y'all see all them commercial going flying. Listen to me. For 90 cents a day. Listen to me. Sponsors, y'all get on board real quick. All right. We want to say like, share, and subscribe to the page.
Please, man.
Listen to me. Y'all listen. I know y'all enjoy the content every week.
Makes it on the internet the other day. The woman said, I know you. I get a little scared because I know what she's talking about.
I said, and these people, they fall.
I say, Mom, I never see you before.
Listen to me. Y'all better get on board. I can start nudging people there. Yo, get away from me.
She said, yeah, you used to be in the show. You used to be in the show with that fella.
Off the bench.
I said, oh, yeah, man. We used to do a thing on there.
Yeah,
we gaining a little notoriety of them, X.
Yeah.
So Vince, I'm going to be dead popular next tomorrow. They ain't even know it yet.
Yeah. Just tell them you know Mix and you straight.
Hey, but we do have to wrap up though. Mix, you got to conquer the week. If not, I could nudge you and point the right direction. Start with G at end with YM. St. Jack Haywood. Just saying. I don't know if you want to use that or not. But your show, my buddy. It's your segment.
I don't want to say do conquer the week, but I want to say Grand Bahama community. Y'all do a better job. Y'all can, and we not just out here trying to talk up our associations, whatever. Keep in mind that we have younger children that play in these various associations. Go out and support them. Go if your niece, your nephew, your brother, your uncle, your cousin, somebody, it's one of them playing in one of these associations. Just go, just $3, $5. Go and support them.
Yeah,
that's all.
Stefano had to leave early, but he didn't. He had a chance to chime in a bit, but he's always on the show too. So we're gonna thank you for he's not here to wrap up, but we're gonna thank him and Grand Bahama Softball Association. They're being very welcoming to us, and they have a ton of issues, but they want to try to get resolved too. And they have a ton of talent, and they out there rocking every Friday and Saturday night. So Grand Bahama community, you could be out there as well. But we way over time, so let's wrap this up now. We're gonna thank you, Grand Bahama. Thank you, Bahamas. Thank you, world. This is another episode of Off the Bench. We'll see you next week.
Track and field, we in another mode. Cause they already know we run the road.